Hey there, I am going to mix all different brands and do a pour. I just had to do it today. I love to paint. I've got a doctor appointment in a few hours and I just had to get a pour in before I go. I'm addicted, what can I say? So I started 3 or 4 minutes ago, and we're going to see how long it takes to mix up all these paints, and I'm going to go as fast as I can. And I'm going to fast forward through all this, but I want you to see how long it actually takes to come up with your colors and mixing and so forth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 8 or 9 different colors I want to mix, and I need at least 16 ounces of paint for my painting that I'm going to do. So I just may do 8, but anyway, this is how long it's going to take. I'm using Artist Loft Liquitex Basics, Master's Touch, a little bit of Deco Art and Anita's Acrylic, and I'm going to use a little bit of this Lumiere by Jacquard. Mostly metallic bronze, and I'm going to stick with the end of the bottle of this Sunset Gold into, and this is, you know, these are like really beautiful iridescent metallics that are just truly gorgeous, but their cleanup is with soap and water, but they look more like an oil-based metallic. They're really gorgeous, and these are some that I had already, so I'm going to also use that as well as metallic gold. I'm going to finish off this Master's Touch and add some Liquitex to it to get this metallic gold here. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to not talk, I'm going to mix, and you're going to see things go by really fast. I love this one, but I only had a touch left, that Sunset Gold, and these are definitely thick, and most of the 2 paints are going to be thick, so it's going to take a lot of water to add to. So I roughly need about 2 ounces in each cup, and I'm probably going to mix closer to 3 so that I'm not short on anything. So I'll be doing a good ounce, or actually I'm going to do 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol in this video. And so I'm going to do 1 ounce of paint and 2 ounces of Floetrol. I saw someone else's video named Gina. She did some beautiful, gorgeous pours that had massively large cells and no silicone, and so I'm going to try her method. So I will not be putting silicone or anything to try to get cells, but the ratio that she used and the paints, it was the most magnificent large cells, so I'm going to try that method. So I'm done with the mixing, and you see when I rush I make mistakes and spill stuff, but just very quickly want to go through all this with you just so you'll know roughly what the colors are, and I'll try to list them below. Again, I'm not using silicone, and Gina had in her video the most gorgeous painting with huge cells. She also mentioned something about putting alcohol in to avoid bubbles. And I don't know if she did in that video or not, but what I'm going to do is just add a drop and I'm not being specific, it's just it goes pretty quickly. That's to get rid of bubbles, but maybe that helps with the cells, I do not know. So I'm going to stir that real quick before I forget about it and don't do it. But she said something about it helping with bubbles, so that's why I'm doing it. And I mixed up too much paint in each cup, which also causes you to do spills and things like that when you get too close to the top. I always prefer to have more paint than not enough, and you can always put lids on it or cover it with another cup or plastic to save it, or transfer it into my squeeze bottles. Typically I use squeeze bottles, but they have silicone in them, so I don't want any silicone in this pour. And I'm going for a specific look similar to what she had, and I have a request from a friend who wants to give her husband a painting, and so this is the colors I want to try. She said he loves purple and gold, so therefore that's why I have the 3 tones of purple and gold, and then these are my sweet in-between mixes, which I love, purples to turquoise to orange and red colors. So very quickly, this is the end of the tube here, Master's Touch. Just gold is the name of it, Master's Touch. This here was the Sunset Gold and Metallic Bronze. This is by Lumiere, by Jacquard. So this little one is Artist Loft Metallic Purple. I'm going to finish off with this one. So it's not going in my dirty, I'm doing a dirty pour, but it's going to be very contained and very intentional. But this is Metallic Purple by Artist Loft. And that took me over 30 minutes to mix, by the way. Take my little note off the table, but it took me 30 minutes. So those are the metallics, okay? So this one here was Fine Touch Yellow Ochre. And I put a little bit of the Naples, no I didn't. I didn't want to add white to it or a lighter color and make it too pale. I added Marigold from Deco Art and Hay by Anita's. Those were the 2 that I added to that yellow ochre. Orange color was Straight Out Orange, and I think I put a little bit of deep yellow from Artist Loft and Liquitex Naples Yellow Hue, just to take it down a notch but still keep it really bright. So that was for the orange. In this one I used Vermilion by Master's Touch, which is a beautiful orangey red, and I mixed it with the deep violet. No, I didn't. I mixed it with Liquitex Basics Quinacridone Magenta. So the 2 of these made this red color here, which this was too orange and it was too close to my orange, so I added the quinacridone to make it a little bit more red. So that was that one. This one was mostly Bright Aqua Green by Liquitex, and I added Phthalo Cyanine Green, which is a really bold color, so I just put a little squeeze of that into here. And this is about the color of my friend's wall, and she said he loved purple and gold, so this also ties in the wall color. And this is in their kitchen. This one here is Artist Loft Turquoise, and then I added Fine Touch, and this color is teal. This is the one that everybody's been grabbing up at Hobby Lobby for $1.75 on clearance. I was never fortunate enough to find it at that time, so these are $7 a bottle, but it's also 16 ounces, which is not a bad price at all, and it's very thick and creamy. So these two together made that color. This was deep violet here in this cup all by itself, which I totally love this color. And this was violet by the Fine Touch, which is from Hobby Lobby. And so it's like a dioxazine purple, but the name of the color is just violet. So there's the colors. Here's the metallic purple and the other metallics. That was 1 part paint to 2 parts Floetrol latex based. So that was what was in the gallon jug, and then I switched to the smaller, this is a quart. I get these at Home Depot or Lowe's. This is about $6 to $7. The gallon is $13 to $14. You can also order it online. And I have an Amazon link below of my recommendations, and it is in that link as well. And then I'm going to paint on an 18 by 24 canvas, and this may be the final piece, and it might be a test piece, so that if I have to adjust colors. I have push pins in the corners. I am going to coat this with a light coat of white, and that will be Artist Loft Flow Acrylic in the white, and I mix this is 50-50 with Floetrol and water. So I'm going to pour everything into this picture so that I have a little spout. Instead of doing it in a big cup that has no spout, I'm going to do it, because I don't have big paper ones, I just have the plastic and it'll break if you bend it. So I'm using my glass measuring cup, and it has the little spout. I need to buy one just particularly for pouring. But she poured, and she poured in the center. It's not going to be a tree ring pour, but because I'm not going to twirl it, I'm just going to pour it in the center. And hers just was gorgeous. So this is my white in my big drink bottle here. And also, some people have mentioned that they just spray their canvas with water to make it wet, and you can do that as well. It just helps your paint flow better on the canvas. Because Gina put white on her canvas, I'm putting white on my canvas because I want it to come out even like remotely close to how hers came out, because it was so beautiful. So I'm coating it with white, and I'm not going to veer from what she did. And like I said earlier, I have a doctor appointment today, and I had to get a pour in because I wanted to do this so bad after watching Gina's video. So please forgive me if I kind of rushed through it a little bit. And this does not have to be perfect because it's going to be totally covered with paint. Also, the last thing I wanted to mention too is that when she puts her paints in the cup, she kind of tilts this while she pours it in so she has more control, and I wanted to point that out. So I need, to cover this size canvas, I need at least 16 ounces of paint. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-ish, 10. So I need a roughly 2 ounces per color. And I do want a little bit more of the purple than the other, because purple is one of his favorite colors. But I want more of the purple than I do the other colors, so I'm going to put more than 2 ounces of the purple. And she tried to layer it, and that's what I'm going to try to do here too. These are 4-ounce cups, so I'm trying to roughly figure out a couple of ounces as I go. So I'm up to 8 ounces, and I've used 4 of my colors. So I'll probably use a little less of the red and orange. I do want a good amount of this gold. I'm going to pretty much put all of it. Then I'm going to do this metallic gold and a good portion of that. So that is almost 16 ounces right there, which is plenty, but I want to finish off the top with the metallic gold and this more bronzy gold. So I think I'll do that. That is so pretty on top. I got more paint than I need, and I know that. So, are you ready? I'm ready. I hope this turns out even remotely close to hers. It was so beautiful. And see, the weird part is hers started with purple. So it looks like the tree ring pour. And I don't want it to look like the tree ring pour. Ooh, I love that. So I'm going to torch it first. And I use a heat gun. And the orange definitely took over, for sure. And she mentioned that it's good to get the weight of the paint always kind of back in the center. So I'm trying to do that as I go. So I'm tilting and then I'm going back to the center. Okay, now I'm going back to the center. That orange has taken over for sure. Whew. I was hoping the gold would come out. Well, I guess the gold is under the orange since it poured out first, so that's why. Now back to the center. And it's funny how the turquoise barely showed up. Okay, now I'm going to come back to the center. Now back to the center. Now I'm going to come this way. So this may have to be my test one, and I may have to do one again. I don't like this area over here on this side where it's darker, so I'm actually going to go that way. See if I can get some of that turquoise or more gold to come through. So hers was more centered, and that's okay that this one isn't. I love this area here. That's my favorite part. At least the red is popping through here. I've got the gold, so I'm happy with that. I wish there was more turquoise. So I was going to do brown, but now after looking, and this is mixed up, so I don't have any more of this color because it's a color I made. So I just want to make sure that I have it around my edges. But what happened with hers is, as you know, as it dried, the cells pop up, which is really phenomenal. A little bit of this greenish turquoise. It's more of a blue turquoise and one's more of a green turquoise. I like that better than I would have the brown, I think. And I don't know, I'm going to add a little strip of oh, why am I putting that there? I don't know. And now I'm going to take it and just tilt it. Not tilting it much though, because I don't want, I don't want this to change. So just trying to get that to blend a little bit. Now, and this here is where I ended my pour, and I don't like. Yes, I want to kind of bring this out a little bit. I love that. I wish it were more strong. I'm going to let it dry because maybe this turquoise will pop through. It probably won't in here because it looks like the gold and orange to the red tones were layered on each other there, but this here is just beautiful. I love it. So I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm out of photo paper. This is just the back of a card. So I'm just putting this metallic on here. And I'm going to put a little bit of this purple. And maybe a little bit of this greenish turquoise. Lay it down flat so I can do this, hopefully. I'm going to try to just swipe over it. So if you don't have a totally flat surface, you can't get that swiped effect. But anyway, I'm going to let this dry, and that might turn out really pretty. Let me put a heat gun on it. And then I thought about it, there's no silicone in this, so I'm not sure if it will sell up or not. So all things considered, with the size of the canvas and the amount of paint I poured onto it, it's pretty much stayed on the canvas for the most part. So I'm really pleased with that. I hope you liked this. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe. I will post the picture of the dry painting at the end of the video.